Have you ever played Tic-Tac-Toe? The board looks like this, and you take turns with another player trying to make a row of 3 X's or O's in a row. I would play this all the time with my cousins because it's so easy to draw out on a piece of paper, but it didn't hold our attention for long. Most of the time, we would tie and it would get boring really quickly. You can imagine if this were a game app, I wouldn't play it for long because the pace is too slow and the game is too predictable. To really attract and keep players interested, you want to make a challenging game. When I think of a challenging game, they all have a few things in common. First, the game starts off slowly, so that it's easy to play and understand. Second, the game complexity grows over time. This is especially important for monetization because complex, difficult portions of your game can be good places to introduce in-app purchases that can help players overcome certain challenges. If you decide to include in-app purchases like this, keep in mind that if a game is too challenging without them, it will detract from the quality of the game. And it can drive players away if they feel like they're being forced to buy helpful items in order to advance in the game. So always keep in mind your players and their game experience, because a quality game experience is the most important aspect of a challenging game. And design your in-app purchases to be helpful but not required. A good example of a game that balances being challenging but not too challenging is Candy Crush. Candy Crush has a lot of levels to progress through. They start off relatively easy and introduce you to the rules of the game. And as you breeze through the first couple levels, it gives you some winning momentum. The levels get more challenging over time. Here you can see the difference between an early level of Candy Crush and a later one that's a special level, which includes licorice and bubbles as extra obstacles. And when you don't quite pass a level, it feels like you were so close. And if you just need a little extra push, the game will offer you items and power-ups for purchase that will give you that push. And this is a great example of why it's so important to plan for monetization early on, so that you can have good timing and introduce in-app purchases right when players might need an extra boost. But it's hard to know exactly what challenges or items your game players will like the best, so later in the course we'll talk about how to test out different versions of your game, like different challenges or levels, to see what works best.